guys, how's it going? It is me, Megan, and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do unsold videos, I'll do unboxings, I'll do all that good stuff. So if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. So you might be thinking, Megan, where are you? I am still filming in my office, just on a different side of my office. Didn't feel like clearing my desk fully off. I am sitting on a stool because sitting on the ground has made my feet fall asleep every single time. So I'm gonna try filming this way. This is the wall that I like usually take photos on. So I can't put like wallpaper up or anything and make it look interesting, but at least it's a little bit less crowded than what I usually film on. I'll work on the desk situation maybe if I continue to film up here, but yeah, this is a What Sold Sunday video. I'm sorry that I did not post one last week or really any videos this last week. I just needed a little bit of a break. I really needed to clean last week. I spent the entire day just organizing my office, putting things away. It's so much better in here now, even better than when I first moved in and put all my stuff away. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, just making room for some flip lots, which I have been struggling a lot with trying to get more inventory without spending tons and tons and tons of money all week. And going to the bins is it's just a harder process now. If you guys have been watching my videos, you would know. I go to the Sacramento bins now, which are about an hour away from where I live. So it's just not feasible for me to go all the time, and I've never been one to stay like all day at the bins, and I've been trying really hard, but it's you guys know it can be just so exhausting and draining, especially if you're not finding good things. And last time I went, it took its toll, so I'm waiting a little bit before I go, but I still need inventory. So I've been turning to FLYP, which I've talked about on my channel before. It's like an app where you can have people sell clothes for you, or you can sell clothes for other people. It is a little bit more complicated than that, but if you're interested in finding out more about that, I do have a link in my description box below and you can check it out. I've done really well as a seller on the site. I haven't done as well having people sell my clothes. A lot of the clothes that I've put on there are clothes that I couldn't sell for years, and I'm not saying I'm the best reseller, and if I can't sell it, no one can, but I don't expect people in the time period that they're given to be able to sell something that I've been trying to sell for years. So it could just be the stuff that I'm sending in. I haven't sent stuff in a very, very long time. I'm slowly collecting some things that I pick up at the bins, like brands that I'm not the biggest fan of selling, but I know other people do like to sell, like Eileen Fisher is a big one. So I'm gonna slowly create a little pile and then eventually maybe post a lot and see if anyone wants to sell it. But anyway, I'm rambling. Just needed to make room for those lots that are coming in. And yeah, so I'm going to be going over what sold actually from the last 2 weeks, because I mentioned I did not post a video last week, and I still want to go over those sales with you. They're still pretty recent. They're just from the last 2 weeks. And I will say these last 2 weeks have just been so slow for me, unfortunately. Things were doing like super well. Things were really picking up. And then I've just had like no sale days, and it's been really hard. Having no sale days and spending a lot of money sourcing, those two things just like do not mix well, as you guys know, because you don't want to be spending money that you're not bringing in, even though that's kind of the name of the game. You have to spend money to make money. Anyway, I do know, or I've heard that during Posh Fest last week, they mentioned that they were going to change the algorithm back, which it should have been either done or the process would have been started to change it back, I guess, this last weekend. I am interested to hear from you guys if you feel like that's helped your sales out. I don't feel like it's helped me out yet. It could be that they're still rolling it back and it hasn't fully changed. I will say the biggest thing for me with the old algorithm used to be that I needed to be sharing my closet like as much as possible, like literally as much as possible, twice an hour or more. And I was getting great results that way. With the new algorithm, it seemed like I didn't have to be quite as crazy at sharing, but sales were definitely better the old way. We'll just have to see how things play out, but I am interested to hear your guys' thoughts about that. I'm gonna first go over what I sold the last week of September, so Sunday the 25th through the 1st of October, which was the following Saturday. So last Sunday, my weekends have been still doing really well, which is exciting. Well, not really well, they were doing awesome, now they're just doing okay. But I did have 4 sales that day. I sold this vintage Clio midi skirt. I picked this up at the bins, really just based on style. My vintage stuff has actually been doing really well. I definitely try and just stick to things that I think are from the 90s or the early 2000s, or if they're not from that decade, like they look like they're from that decade at the very least. And midi skirts, I really like to pick up. I think they're gonna be really trendy during the fall. Midi dresses still are really trendy. I like to sell skirts. I know people do not feel the same way, but I enjoy it. I don't wear skirts, but I do think they're cute. This ended up selling for $20 on eBay. I will say eBay is probably where my vintage stuff is doing the best. Then after fees, I made $17.61. Then I sold these Gap distressed jeans, a recent bins pickup. I think I got these actually in Sacramento. They sold pretty quickly, which was really exciting. I usually do not pick up Gap, but their jeans are pretty high quality. And if it's a good size, a good style, I will pick it up at the bins, especially if it's in like perfect condition. And it is jeans season and I love selling jeans, so it is hard to say no to a cute pair of jeans. But they did sell for $20 on Poshmark, and then after fees I made $14.28. Then you guys might remember these boots. I recently picked these up at a smaller thrift store near me. They were so cute. They were Zara boots. I picked them up totally based on style. I didn't even look them up. I just knew that they were gonna be perfect for the fall and for Halloween season. They, bless you.
Thanks, I'm going to the gym.
Okay. I knew they were gonna be perfect for Halloween. They laced all the way from the top to the toe. So cute. They did have a little bit of wear. They actually were leather. I wasn't 100% sure when I picked them up because they were from Zara. I don't even remember what size they were now, but it doesn't really matter. When I did finally look them up, and I think it was the thumbnail for that video, that thrift haul video that I picked them up in, they were blogger favorites, which is absolutely amazing. I don't tend to look up the Zara pieces when I pick them up, like comp them, because don't pick it up that often, and if I am picking up, it's just solely based on style. And if I think it's really trendy and Zara, you know, is pretty popular, I will pick it up. I don't pay up for it. These were only $6. I was so shocked because I cannot ever, especially in Portland, find shoes ever for $6. And half the time, if I do pick it up, it's at the bins. Yeah, I usually pick up the bins. I usually don't pay up for it. So when I do like look it up and it's a blogger fave, that's always so exciting. I make sure to put it in the title, put in the listing. I include as many photos as I can, not that as I can find, but that I like, that, you know, prove that it is a blogger fave. And yeah, these actually sold pretty quickly. They sold for $108, and then after fees, I made $84.68. And they did have a couple of flaws, like a paint stain that I just couldn't get out, and like kind of like a chunk missing on the heel, but like not in a noticeable spot. But the person really loved it. They said they were like new when they got them in the review they left me. So I'm very excited that the person who got that loved it. And then the last thing I sold on Sunday was a Sage the Label plaid miniskirt. I picked this up at the bins recently, totally based on style, really cute. Again, another skirt that sold. See, skirts sell. I'm not crazy. Not that I don't have like 2 full like baskets full of skirts that haven't sold. But yeah, picked up totally based on style. I know Sage the Label is sold on the Lulu's website. Lulu's the ones that sell the dresses that everybody loves. And yeah, I knew I was probably gonna be able to find a style photo pretty easily. I will say Sage the Label doesn't always sell well for me. It hasn't in the past, but the skirt I totally picked based upon the season and the style. All right, and then on Monday, I only had 2 sales. I sold this Boston hoodie. Didn't even write down the brand. I got this in probably my most recent bulk box from 6 months ago, I want to say. And I listed it because it was in good condition. It was just a hoodie that said Boston and then Massachusetts down the sleeve, so it was a little much, but I figured somebody would want it. I've already profited off of that bulk box, so some of these things are just like getting the last few dollars in that I can. I ended up only selling for $10, and then after fees I made $5.53. And then I had a Mercari sale. I picked up this new tag Lulu's black jumpsuit at a Goodwill nearby. All the jumpsuits and dresses at that Goodwill and all my Goodwills are $9.99, so not cheap. And then there's no sale days, which is pretty sad, but it was new with tags. It was really cute. I'd recently just sold a black jumpsuit on Mercari, like I think the week before, for a good price, so I thought I'd pick it up. This also sold on Mercari. It only sold for $42. I think it was still available on the website, so that's a little bit hard, and something I need to be more mindful of is if it's still available on the website for say $50, I'm not gonna make $50 on it, because you could just buy it off from them, you know, for like same price or cheaper. So it ended up selling for $42, and then after fees I made $36.28. So about like a $26 profit, which isn't insanely amazing, but it was a really quick flip, so I am happy about that. And then Tuesday I did not have any sales. And then on Wednesday I had one sale. It was on eBay. It was this Game of Thrones Targaryen spirit jersey. I picked this up at the bins in Portland. I honestly don't even remember. I don't think it was super long ago. I think it might have been earlier this year, but I have been sitting on it for a while. I picked it up, like I said, earlier this year, so it's been a while since the Game of Thrones show, the original one, came out. But recently there's been a spin-off show about the Targaryens, so I think that's what helped it sell now, is that, you know, people are getting renewed interest in them, and maybe someone's gonna wear it for Halloween, who knows, but I was happy that it sold. It actually sold for what I had it listed at on eBay, which was $30, and then after fees I made $29.65. Then on Thursday I had 3 sales. I sold these Mack Weldon Ace sweatpants. You guys might remember I've mentioned a few times, but I got a bunch of these sweatpants in a mystery box from Cozy Threads, which is now Helpsy Source, which used to be B&G Trading. I have no idea what's going on with them. But it was a good box. I'm still selling through some of the stuff. I got a lot of their sweatpants. Mack Weldon, especially this style of sweatpants, sell super well. They're very, I don't want to say sought after, but they're kind of have like a cult following. I think I only have a few pairs left now, but that ended up being a pretty good box for me. I think I paid about $9 per pair, but I've definitely made my money back. These sold for $35, and after fees I made $28 on Poshmark. Then I sold this J. Crew patchwork button-up. I loved this button-up. I just saw it at the bins, and I really like the style. Workwear kind of like this is very trendy right now. I think they have almost like the exact same shirt available on Abercrombie & Fitch, but this was from J. Crew. Picked it up at the bins very recently, sold pretty quickly on eBay again. It sold for $22, and then after fees I made $19.52. And I just wanted to thank everyone that commented. I think it was my last What Sold Sunday video, telling me about eBay storefronts, because I'm obviously very dumb when it comes to eBay, and they're kind of telling me that, you know, they pay for the eBay storefronts, then they could have X amount of listings, and I don't know why, I just never knew about that. But I did get an eBay storefront. I got the cheapest one, I think, and it's just like a peace of mind that I'm not going to have to like accidentally go over the listing quota and then pay X amount per listing after that. I'm not gonna hit, I think it's like 1,000 listings a month. I'm not gonna hit that anytime soon. So I don't know. It's just, and it's a reason to get me to use eBay more. Like, I'm paying for it, I now have to use it. So thank you guys for letting me know about that. And then the last thing I sold on Thursday was also on eBay. It was a Hannah Anderson cozy bear jacket, really cute. Again, bins pickup from Portland. I'm pretty sure Hannah Anderson is based in the Portland area, so I'd find it a lot there. I'd pick it up a lot, but I don't know how much I'd pick it up now because now some of my stuff has been sitting for a while. It sold for $10 and then after fees I made $10.99 because shipping is still confusing to me on there. And then on that Friday the 30th I had 2 sales. I sold a Zara knit short sleeve, picked up at the bins in Portland. I liked it because it was like a sweater short sleeve. It was very, very, very soft. I think I have one other one in black still in my closet, but it sold for $22 and after fees I made $15.88. And then I sold a new tag, Control It shapewear. Got this in a fun box a long time ago. Control It is not like a sought after shapewear, but shapewear, especially new tags, I think will sell well starting now and going through the holiday season, you know, as we're eating and still going to events, especially like Christmas. It ended up selling for $13, then after fees I made $8.33. And then Saturday, October 1st, I had 2 sales. I sold these Sperry Oxford men's size 7 shoes. The reason I'm laughing is because I've had these since the summer of 2020. I got these in a men's THREDUP rescue box. Maybe like the first one I ever received. I think they haven't sold because they are like a men's size 7. I don't know how popular that size is, but they're so cute. They were in such good condition, and this offer really came out of the blue. They offered me $40 for it. I think I had them listed at like $50, which, you know, I definitely should have lowered the price by now, but I was so excited. I accepted so fast, and after fees I made $32. Then the last thing I sold on Saturday was a pair of Old Navy pull-on jeans. I'll pick up, I think I picked these up at the bins, but these might have been from a denim THREDUP rescue box that I've gotten over the years. I will pick up the pull-on jeans if they're like a size 16 plus, maybe even 14 plus. I find that, you know, people enjoy the pull-on jeans, like, you know, the ones you have to button or anything in bigger sizes. They're probably just more comfortable. I would enjoy just pulling on pants and going. I imagine they're more comfortable than a button digging into all the time. So I think these were a size 14 or 16. I don't even remember now. But yeah, they sold for $10 and after fees I made $7.05. Then October started and Sunday was much better. I'm sending out a bunch more offers. I also hope you guys' spooky Halloween season has started off well. I love Halloween and I love spooky things, but I don't like scary things. But I told my husband that I want to watch all the original like Halloween scary movies because I don't think they'll scare me as much like now that I'm an adult. They would have literally scarred me for life if I watched them as a child or even like a teenager. But we just watched Nightmare on Elm Street last night and it was good. I liked it a lot. I wasn't scared, which was great. Very interesting movie. I'm excited to watch the others. I've literally never seen like Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street until yesterday, or Silence of the Lambs, Rosemary's Baby. I don't even know what the other ones are called, but I am excited to watch them this Halloween. And we saw Hocus Pocus 2, which was, I thought, just okay, but it was a really fun movie. Okay, moving on. So now I'm gonna go over sales from just this last week, the first full week of October, the 2nd through the 8th, which was yesterday. Okay, and then like I mentioned, I sent out a bunch of offers this day, so I think that did help me get in some more sales. The first thing I sold were these Mother the Looker jeans. I got really lucky recently, or like when I just moved here, and I found like 2 pairs of Mother jeans at a couple different thrift stores, which is exciting. I haven't found Mother jeans in a really long time. Luckily, they were in excellent condition, so happy about that. I hope I find it more. I don't know if it's based in San Francisco, but if it is, I imagine I'll probably find it more, which would be excellent. It sells really well for me, usually around $60. So I did have these marked high because comps were high, but since I was sending out offers, this actually sold on a 30% offer, so it sold for $70, then after fees I made $54.28. So really, I've only been able to sell them in that $60 to $70 range. I know people have told me they can sell them for much more. For me, that's what they sell for. It could be just because I always only find like the skinny jeans. I don't know. I imagine they make other styles that are more trendy, but I'm still happy. My jeans at my Goodwills are $10.99, so on the high end. So I do hope to sell them at a higher price point. Then I sold this nap boxy oversized sweatshirt. I picked this up really recently at the bins, and when I saw it, it just felt like really high quality. I thought it might have been Lululemon, but the label said nap, and I had a memory, a recovered memory, from when I was at a Goodwill one day in Portland that is insane about their pricing. They weren't when I first started going there. After the pandemic, they're absolutely insane about their pricing. They look up every single thing. I saw 2 sweatshirts by this brand there. Like, the brand had literally been crossed out in Sharpie, and they still somehow were able to figure out what brand it was. And I was able to figure out, I think I looked up the RN number, because they had them priced at $40. I'm like, how are you pricing these sweatshirts at $40 when the brand's crossed out and you don't know what it is? So I think I had to do some investigating myself, and I found out that they were from this brand Nap. I didn't pick them up because they were selling, you know, not for too much more than that. Sometimes I can't with Goodwill. But I saw this at the bins and I was excited to find it. I picked it up. It did have a few stains, I guess. I was able to get out most of them. There still were a couple, and I just like noted them because they weren't in super, like, they weren't on the front. I got all the ones on the front off, which was great. But there was like one on the sleeve, maybe one on the back. But it's still sold. It sold for $61. I think this must just be like a really trendy thing right now, like this specific sweatshirt by this brand. But yeah, sold for $61 on Poshmark, and then after fees, I made $47.08. Then I sold this vintage Christopher & Banks fall button up top. I cannot remember where I got this. I want to say I picked it up at the bins in Portland like a year ago. I think I did, and it was during like winter, so I sort of missed the fall season. So I just recently relisted it on Sunday, and then someone made me an offer and I accepted so fast. Perfect for the fall. It had like, I think a scarecrow and some like apple picking things. It was cute. It ended up selling for $26, and after fees I made $20.80. Then I sold this Yves Saint Laurent beauty bag, like one of their makeup bags. I got this in a fun box again a long time ago. I don't think I was planning on reselling it, but during the move I found it and I was like, oh, I'll list it, because I've been doing well with these like kind of cheapy designer makeup bags recently. Not gonna sell for much. Some of them will. Again, you might have seen one of my videos from like 2 months ago where I found that Chanel beauty bag, don't know how you pronounce it, and it sold for $300. This was much more saturated in the market, so it wasn't going to sell for that much, but it did sell for $15 pretty quickly on Mercari, and then after fees I made $12.76. Then I sold these Liverpool pull-on jeans. I want to say I picked these up at the bins. I do like selling Liverpool jeans. They're kind of like Joe's jeans to me. They both sell around that, like, usually between 20 and 30, but these end up only selling for 15, which I was fine with, and then after fees I made 12. And then the last thing I sold was a marine layer corduroy skirt, which I found recently at the bins, and it was like my favorite thing that I found at the bins that day, and it only got me $30, which is fine, but it was a really quick like sale for me. And then after fees I made $24. On Monday I had 2 sales. I sold this Arc'teryx mini dress. I found this recently at a local thrift store. I think I got it for $12, I want to say. I was excited to find this brand because I've never found it before. Their outerwear will do really well. But this actually sold really quickly, which I was excited about because it was a little bit saturated online. And it wasn't the cutest thing, in my opinion. It's just not my style. But it did actually sell really quickly on eBay. It sold for $59.99, and after fees I made $53.22. Then I sold this Bruno maternity dress. I didn't write down Bruno what, but I imagine it's on the listing. I got this at the bins in Portland a while ago, and I looked it up and comps are great, but it's just gotten no attention whatsoever. I think it would have sold for a little bit more now that we're going into the fall and winter, but when someone offered me $50 on eBay, I accepted. I was like, I've been sitting on this with literally no interest. I will take $50. I got it at the bin, so I'm happy. And then after fees, I made $38.49. I think that was a promoted listing. Then on Tuesday, I sold these Madewell D'Orsay booties. I sold these Madewell D'Orsay booties. These have been getting tons and tons of attention since I got them. I got them at a Goodwill, I want to say for around $10 in Portland, so I've had them for a little bit. They weren't in perfect condition, but they weren't in bad condition. They ended up finally selling for $68, and after fees I made $52.68. I do like to pick up Madewell shoes still, especially the leather ones, especially like the boots or the booties. They do still do well for me as far as Madewell pieces go. Then I sold this H&M Kids bat sweater. I got this a while ago in Portland. I think just 2 weeks before that, I don't know. I sold that H&M Kids like skeleton costume. So people are definitely buying for the holiday or the holidays for Halloween. And I just thought it was really cute, so I picked it up. I'm not surprised that it took a couple of months to sell, but it did sell. It sold for $14, and after fees I made $11.05. Then Wednesday I had another no sale day, which was sad, but it's fine. They happen. Just need to remind myself that. But then on Thursday I did have a better sales day. I sold 4 items. I sold these American Eagle Relax jeans. I put these up recently at the bins. I want to say in Sacramento, but I'm not even sure if it was in Sacramento or Portland. But anyway, they're really cute, really distressed, a smaller size, I think. But I was able to find the model photo for them because they were really recent. They sold for $27, and then after fees I made $19.88. Then I sold these Good American camo jeans. I got these at my Honey Hole in Portland, which is the cat rescue in Beaverton, if you're interested in checking that out, if you're from the area. But I found a bunch of Good American jeans. Did I find a bunch? I might have just found a few Good American jeans that day. I had already found a few at Plato's Closet just before, and I try and stick away from their skinny jeans. Their skinny jeans do not do as well for me. But these were a size 16 and they were camo, so a good size. Camo, people love camo. So I picked them up. I think they were only like $5 or $6. Definitely not more than $8. But I've actually been sitting on them for a while with not a lot of interest. So when someone offered me $50, I did decide to accept, and after fees I made $40. Then I sold these new Tag Zara joggers. I thought the model photo was really cute, but people have been really lowballing me on these. So I decided to just take an offer of $18, and after fees I made $14.40. And then the last thing I sold that day was a Kendall and Kylie jumpsuit, which if you've been watching my videos for a while, you may remember. I got this over a year ago. I got it, it was new tags at a Goodwill or a thrift store I had went to once because it was terrible. But then I found this and I was so excited. I get home, it has a tear in it, and it's like faux leather, so you can't just stitch it. I mean, you could, but it'll look crazy. So I brought it home during the winter to my mom, and I asked her to glue it. She did, and it didn't look terrible. It actually it's kind of hard to tell unless you're looking at it. But yeah, I had to sell it as is, but somebody still paid $63 for it. It's just so cute, and it's perfect for the holidays. But yeah, it sold for $63, and then after fees I made $48.46, and I remember I paid $10 for it. And then on Friday I actually had another really great sales day. I think probably my best of the last couple of weeks. The first thing I sold was an Eileen Fisher linen dress, and yes, I just said I don't like to sell Eileen Fisher, but I found this at the bins. I think it was like a size 24, like a plus size 24. So it was a great size. I found a model photo for it. It was an interesting dress. I think it was linen. People had it listed for really high. So I decided to list it, and I listed it pretty high. But someone offered me $40, and I was really, really happy about that. So I accepted, and it sold for $32. Like I said, I have a hard time selling Eileen Fisher, but selling it for $40, especially when I found out the bins, I am very happy about. Then I sold a pair of vintage Gold A pants, which I've had these for probably over 2 years. I got these at the bins. I wasn't 100% sure if it was the same as the modern Goldie, but one of my followers said it definitely was. And I mean, what are the odds that two brands would have such similar names when they're kind of odd like that? So I just listed it as that, obviously took pictures of the tags and everything. And they were a cool style of pant, but they took forever to sell. Finally sold for $28, and after fees I made $22.40. Then I sold these Madewell Road Tripper Stovepipe jeans. Got these recently at Goodwill, and like I said, I paid $10.99 for jeans at these local Goodwills. Someone offered me $40, and I was expecting to get between 50 and 60 for these, and I probably could if I just sat on them for a little bit longer, but my sales had not been that great this last week, so I did decide to accept, and after fees I only made 32, so it's more like a $20 profit, but it's better than making no money. I try to just be better about accepting offers. Then I sold this really cool pair of jeans. They were a collab from Faded Man and Curly Fry. I think it's like a British brand. No, just really liked the style of them. They were very cool. I knew they would sell. They were tiny, tiny, tiny. They were size 24. And unfortunately, the only size left online, retail, was a size 24. So I did mark them high because I think you have to order them literally from their website, which is in London, I guess. And you have to pay in pounds. So I listed them high, but they sold on an offer. They sold for $89, and then after fees, I made $69.48. And those I got out of Savers, so I paid, I think, $11.50 for them. So higher than the Goodwills around here. The prices are insane. I never can believe it when I'm actually buying this stuff, but I buy it. And it sold for good. I mean, I made a good profit off it. I'm not mad, but just saying, my prices are insane. And then the last thing I sold was a New Attack Fashion Nova pair of black pants. I got these recently at the bins because they were New Attacks. I wasn't really expecting much, but I guess they could also be a pretty cool pant for the Halloween time. They sold for $23, and then after fees, I made $16.68. I don't really pick up Fashion Nova. It's just one of those cheapy fast fashion brands, but they do make trendy things, and I hate sending them to the landfill because it's just such a waste. Shouldn't be making the clothes. People buy them. They're so cheap. They don't last, and they end up in the trash. But these were New Attacks, so I thought I'd save them, and I did, which is great. And then on yesterday, I only had 2 sales. I sold this Baby Gap paint suit. It was so cute. It was like a onesie, but it had all these splashes of paint on it. I got it at the bins in Portland a little bit ago. I made sure to put that, like, this would be really cute for like a Halloween costume if like they want their kid to be like Bob Ross or something, that painter, or any painter, I guess. But I thought it was just really cute. It did end up selling for $14 on Poshmark, and after fees I made $9.33. And then the last thing I sold was a pair of Madewell booties. They were Madewell Western Chelsea boots. They sold for $68, and after fees I made $54.40, and those were actually a pair of shoes I got in Connecticut last winter at a Savers. My mom is like one of the only people I know, besides all of you guys, who likes to go thrift shopping like as much as a reseller would. She loves to go thrift shopping, and she doesn't even resell. Hi, Mom. But she goes with me when I go to Connecticut, and it's just so much fun, and we found so many shoes that day that were so good. I found a pair of La Fleur Randall. I should know how to pronounce that because that's the brand I wore to my wedding, but I still don't. Very expensive boots that I sold for like over $200. I think I found some Allbirds, found these, found a bunch of really great shoes and other stuff, but also shoes. So that was really exciting. But yeah, I paid they were $18, and then my mom had some coupon because she also comes in clutch with the coupons. So I think I probably paid around $15 or $16 for them. So I did wait a year, but still really good profit, almost $50 in profit. And they were so cute. I think it's because I got them in the winter and I kind of had to wait for this, like the seasons to recycle, but they're so cute. And Western stuff I still think is super trendy. Obviously, I love Western stuff. You can tell by my sign I got at TJ Maxx. But yeah, okay. So I'm just sharing the gross total and the net total from this last week because I didn't want to do double math today. So from this last week, my gross total was $868.99. After fees of $247.11, I net $621.88. So it actually wasn't that bad of a week. Just sales have been like painfully slow for me compared to... I just knocked over everything. I got these with the adult Happy Meals they had or are having. They're so cute. They remind me of those movies I used to watch as a kid, the McDonald's characters. But yeah, just slower than previous weeks, where I was probably having lower priced sales, but I was just having a bunch of them, so it was really exciting. And now it's just like slower, though I am selling some of my more high priced items, which, you know, I just can't complain about. But yeah, let me know how your guys' sales have been. Again, let me know if you feel like the algorithm has changed back and it's like positively or negatively affecting your sales now. I'd love to know, because I don't know. This last week doesn't feel very different from the week before it. So I don't know if it's affected me at all, or if it's affected me negatively, or if it hasn't even fully changed back yet. So I can't, you know, attest to it. Sorry, there was a hair in my face, but yeah. Let me know how your sourcing and selling is going as well. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.